All right, folks, welcome back. It is day 147 with Duolingo Japanese. Once again, Maku desu. Minasan, konnichiwa. Yokoso. Welcome, welcome. We concluded Unit 31 yesterday. Yeah, let's just hop right in. And get to work. So, Unit 31 was linking two adjectives. Largely it revolved around restaurants. Okay. So we had the day, linking two adjectives. Like oishii de kirei desu. Right. What's the pen tool that I'm using called? It's called Web Paint Tool. Web Paint Tool. It's a Chrome extension. So if you're using Chrome, that's the one I settled on. No worries, Blank. Wait. Yeah. Vegetarian. Yeah, vegetarian. Erishi. Okujo. Mansion. Oops. Stroke order. Ryori. Oh, hello there, Blair. He just woke up, ignore you. I hope you got enough sleep, Blair. 場所 人気 少し 4 hours. That doesn't seem like a lot. Are you... Do you operate on such amounts usually? Not normally, but I think reading about Korea. Oh, you've been... Oh, okay. I see. Rabbit hole, huh? Must be some engaging read. Psycho. We can get 17 for this unit. All good. 17 seems like a decent thing. So desu ne. I forgot this a bunch of times actually. So desu ne. Korean particles kept my brain going. Duo is very unhelpful when it comes to explaining the way of things like at this stage. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you gotta find outside sources to complement. It's part of the discovery process. Yeah. Yep. You have to be very engaged in wanting to look outside and explain things if you're curious. Yeah. One of the highlights of making the exposure from Duolingo useful. So desu ne. Shefu. Ugh. Hands a little wobbly still. Shefu. Yoyaku o iremasu. Reminds me very much of taking English grammar where we dissected sentences to identify these parts, gerund, particles, adverbs, that kind of thing. Yeah. So, it's I find it, the way my mindset works for Duolingo is like, you know how it can be a little frustrating or negative to some people, like, oh yeah, I don't know why this is, but it's more like nowadays when I hop into it, like we're about to start a new unit now, today on unit 32, I'm thinking like, talk about classes at university, what are we going to get exposed to? And then the idea is every time you get to exposed to, you write down, you think to yourself as many things that's associated with it. And then it's like, something doesn't seem quite right and it's not quite explained. Let's go now to our favorite XYZ resource. And for me, it's like Tofuku and stuff. We're like, let me see if I can solve this mystery of this. And that's kind of how I approached it. It's always like, what else am I gonna get exposed to? Like, obviously it's frustrating at first because you're lacking foundation, or like you want all the foundational stuff, but at some point after a while you're like, well, I don't really need to know this, but I want to know this. And that's kind of where it starts really picking up. It's like now everything is like kind of feeling like extra, like, and it really gets your like discovery mode and exploration mode going. Like, well, I could just remember this, like, full stop. Like, oh, I'm just gonna remember this, or I can go around and find out why this is the case, or and whatnot. And then you start dissecting everything. And I feel sometimes it can be a little misleading that people like to expect everything to be in one place. That's just not as fun. Yeah, I'm just glad I noticed it before I was 40 units deep and just parroting back what it gives me. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, the parroting thing, the rote memory thing, probably not the greatest. And it's like, it can be demotivating too. And eventually, like, depending on what kind of person you are, rote memory is like not very satisfying. It's not quite satisfying. Like, oh yeah, okay, it's kind of like when kids are in school and they memorize something because they have to, not memorize things because it's interesting, right? And then eventually, once they don't need to remember it anymore, it's discarded by them. I like to make sure, in my opinion, when I was in school, sure, I didn't care about the content. I tried my best to make it to something that I did care about, so that I don't feel like my time is wasted, right? It's to get that negativity away. Like, how do I make math relatable to something that is interesting to me? Sure, the professor isn't providing the motivation, right? Like, the teacher isn't going to say, oh yeah, this is how math gets you to be an expert League of Legends player. Like, they can do that if they want, if it's possible for them within their interest. But you can also do so. You can find a way to make the things interesting. So you bend the exposure to something relevant to you so that you don't feel like you're wasting your time. And it hurts even more when it's something you choose to spend your free time with, right? In school, you had to be there to some extent. So it feels like wasting time, but at least you're accomplishing something you have to. So you kind of do the whole thing. Well, I have to do it anyways, so why not? But for me, I love those people who like, well, I have to work anyways, and the job kind of sucks. So they still go out of their way to try to make it better each day if they have to do it anyways. As opposed to someone who says, well, I have to do it, at least there's a consolation of something. So I feel like if you can lift that kind of mentality to Duolingo, it works for pretty much everything. I'm glad you're losing sleep over it, so it must be great. Blair. So when you said you're running on 4 hours of sleep because you got genuinely interest about the particles in the Korean language. That's fantastic. That sounds like you really, really love it. People don't lose sleep over things they are frustrated or like particularly negatively frustrated over, because there's good frustration, stress, good stress that motivates oneself, versus negative stress, as in losing sleep because you couldn't sleep with all the negativity. Now you're losing sleep, or it sounds like, in my opinion, you're losing sleep because you're genuinely interested about this stuff, and that's really cool. I lose sleep over it too. Actually, when I first started, that's about all I was thinking about. Thanks for the share. It's lovely to hear someone who's just reading particles until they fall asleep. Okay. Let's see. We have Komu. Oops. Control quarter. Shiraberu. Like, I'll definitely hit a wall with involving this new information into my notes, but I'll be gaining something in the long run, which is the entire point. Exactly. And since you're writing notes and stuff, it just seems like so much more when you're looking at it. It sounds like you're building legacy on the side. Building legacy is great. So even if it's like a wall or something, you're doing something. It's very it gives a lot of perspective on all the effort you're placing, right? I feel like that can get lost sometimes when you're trying to squeeze that understanding out. Can I get 2 more things? No, that's not in this unit, is it? No, it's not. Oh, we got some grammar stuff. Oops. Wait, no, that's right. Nishimasho. That's a grammar point for interpretation. And ni arimasu. That's a grammar for interpretation too. Ni into a location. That's 17. Let's move on to unit. Let's go back to unit 30, which was weekends, planning weekends. So we get to practice some predicates again. So, mini iku. Tabe. Nomi. Hi. Asobi. Joyu. Kanashi. Yeah. Jandu. Jandu. Oops. Earingu. Oh, actually, you know, in Korean, Blair, do they have this kind of thing where you're like saying a bunch of have you encountered a thing where you're exposed to a bunch of adopted words? They're saying things like eraringu, but you know, like Korean. Yeah, I'm always kind of curious because Mandarin and Japanese in that regards is kind of funny too, like Janada, right? Idari kind of thing. And then we have here like Italia, and Canada, you know, Canada. Oh, you believe? I'm kind of curious when I haven't uh focused a lot on hearing Korean and stuff, so I haven't ever picked up like adopted words while I'm hearing Korean. I've watched some K dramas here and there, and it wasn't as like prevalent per se. Like you didn't suddenly hear like, oh wait, I know that word, kind of thing. I think it's funny. Or like I find it entertaining. Like, oh, what other adopted words are there? That's kind of like a little treat on the side sometimes. Or in the case of Japanese, it's very off. It's quite often actually. Case in point, right? Hiraringu. Your enter button is being finicky, but I think I read somewhere it does borrow some things, but I have to look. I see, I see. Well, I look forward to hearing what kind of borrowed words or adopted words you encounter. Let's see. Yaringu. For whatever reason, I think Gakse is in this unit. Ato. Minami. Toka. Yeah, I think Minami is the only new one. Grammar. We have grammar stuff. Can't think of any. All right. Tokyo Tower. Nomi? Drinks. No. Yaringu. Tabe? Oh, tabe. Cafe. Yaremeru. Yarameru. Ikebukuro. No one saw that. It's fine. Shopping mall. Oops. Game center. Yeah. Bowling. That's 20. 20 is pretty good. Yeah, we're good. 20 is good. Let's just move on. Gotta hit the ground running today. Alright, talk about classes at university. Alright, so we're going back to classes. There's quite a lot of things that we know about classes, universities, campus life. Tons of vocabulary. Let's see how are this semester's classes? Ongaki no. I guess that's semester. Kongaki no, yeah. Jugyo wa dou desu ka? So, Kongaki no. For semester.
今学期の授業はどうですか?
今学期の授業はどうですか? Oh, there's kadai again. Kadai wa muzukashi. Ooh. Muzukashi kedo. Oh, there's kedo. But yeah. Kadai wa muzukashi kedo 授業は楽しいです. Ah, okay. Kedo, but I think this is the one that Lotus already spoiled. Lotus is like, well, they taught a lot of other things, but Kedo was not one of them yet. Okay. So the assignments are difficult. So kadai wa muzukashi, right? Muzukashi. Then kedo, but 授業は楽しいです. The classes are fun, right? The professor is strict but nice. Oh. Sensei wa, oh, and strict. Sensei wa hibishi. Hibishi de kedo yasashii desu. Wow, there's a lot of good vocabulary here. Nice. They're like switching it up completely. Like, I guess classes got used twice. That's crazy. So much nice vocabulary now. Let's see. Right. Tameni. Yeah, tameni occasionally. Tameni classmate to Nihongo o renshu shimasu. Yeah, occasionally practice Japanese with my classmates. Wait, what's new here? Oh, that's just old vocabulary. Oh, wait. Go. Okay, so new kanji is go. Yep. They finally added go. Nice. That's what's new in that statement. Kondo... Wait. We should definitely study together next time. Okay, next time. Kondo. Yeah, kondo for next time. Kondo... Interesting. Zehi Joni. Wait. No, just Zehi. Zehi definitely? Okay, Zehi Ishoni, right? Ishoni. Zehi Ishoni Benkyou shimashou. So Zehi is definitely. Neat. Zehi. They're gonna swap it with for sure. Either for sure. Yeah, probably for sure. I feel like you can fit for sure in there. Okay, we'll see. Lots of turn of phrases to look forward to. So 6 lessons, here we go.
何人
Nanin. Interesting. Nanin.
何人
What person? Who? Maybe? What? Interesting. We'll find out. Yes.
休みます 飲み物私 母。
何人 Okay.
何人。
歴史の学生は何人いますか？
歴史の学生は何人いますか? How many? Okay. How many students? Okay. So, how many, yeah.
何人
How many people? Yeah. How many students are there? How many histories? Oh, yeah. Yeah, 歴史の学生は何人いますか? Fair enough.
今学期は忙しいですか？
今学期は忙しいですか? 忙しい busy? 今学期 Are you busy? I guess they're assuming it's this semester. There's no this in that statement though.
今学期。
I guess. Oh no, there is. I'm sorry. Cone is probably used. So maybe interesting. Yeah, cone can be this. So like it could be this. Ongaki. Are you busy this semester? Ongaki wa izogashii desu ka?
今学期。
今学期
の授業はどうですか?
今学期の授業はどうですか? How are this semester's classes? 授業
来週文学のテストを受けます。
受けます。受けます。受けます。受けます。And it looks like take.
受けます。
Okay, take. Interesting. Going to take. 来週、音楽。文学。Oh yeah, 文学。literature. 来週、文学のテストを受けます。テストを受けます。受けます。So, 文学のテスト来週。Okay. 今週たくさんの
テスト
を受けます。Brings back some fond memories. So, 受けます is new. 受けます We'll focus on the turn of phrases as they go. So far, no repeats. All unique vocabulary. It feels great, man. And then they did the たくさんのテスト as opposed to the other way around. That's interesting. 先週たくさんのテストを受けます。
フランス文学の学生は何人いますか?
フランス文学の学生は何人 right? Yeah, 何人いますか? 何人いますか? フランス文学の学生は何人いますか? 英語の oh, that's a setup. They use ego because they're gonna introduce go soon. Ego. Oh, and I'm curious if they're gonna introduce the kanji for the other stuff. Like for ego. Ego no sensei. No. Gakusei. Okay. Sure.
学生
Gakusei. 学生は何人いますか？
ドイツ文学の学生は何人いますか？
ドイツ
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 ドイツ文学の学生は何人いますか？
ドイツ
文学
文学の学生
学生は
は
何
何
人
人
いますか？ドイツ文学の学生は何人いますか？
ドイツ文学の学生は何人いますか？何人
何人
ピアノの学生は11人います。
We also have music stuff. ピアノの学生は11人います。11人います。Okay, so we're introducing that nin is a counter, right? Nin is a counter.
11人。
11人. No change? 11人います。ピアノの学生。11人ピアノの学生。
文学の学生は11人います。
Okay. So we're gonna have to go through all the counters, all the numbers again for number of people. 11 is fairly reasonable, I guess, but it can go up to like 30 for class sizes. But 11 is pretty reasonable. 15 is like 15 to 20 is about average.
文学の学生は11人います。
In a, like a, we're talking about like a very specific, right? Specific university experience.
文学の学生は11人います。
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 スペイン語の学生は11人います。
スペイン語の学生は11人います。11人います。スペイン語の学生。Are you finished with the business assignment? Okay. Oh, finished.
課題
課題。ビジネスの課題は、or I guess 課題は
終わりました
終わりましたか？
終わりました
終わりました。Oh, it's so. Oh, wait. You finished to complete. Oh, okay. So it's new and not new. It's a interpretive. It's a meaning swap. It wasn't highlighted. Owarimasu. Owaru. Because we had owaru. Wow, it kind of swapped. So now did you finish? So I'm guessing this is, yeah, the transitive to finish, to complete, to conclude, as opposed to end, to come to an end. Owaru was introduced as the intransitive to end. Okay. Owarimashita. Owaru.
スペイン語
のテス
テストは
は
終わりました
終わりましたか終わりましたか Okay. Fair enough.
生物学。
生物学。生物学。Oh, I can finally say biology.
生物学。
生物. Really? 生物? I figured. I thought they might go with like nature or something as the read. But 生物. Okay. 生物. I guess it's close. 生物. 物 makes sense. 生物. 生物学. And then 学. Biology! 生物学. It only took 147 days. 生物学. 生物学. Yeah. 学 is a study. And then 生物. Okay. Yeah.
生物学。
生物学.
経済学の先生。
We got more subjects. 経済学. Yeah, 経済学の先生. Economics. 経済学. Alright. 経済学の先生. Alright.
魚の色は本当に変でした
Okay, this is a review. 魚の色は本当に変でした。the color of the fish was weird. Was really weird. This was from the unit that you were complaining about weddings. You were being negative about weddings. So they introduced the word hen as in weird. And then iro is the new kanji, the color. So they were describing how the food had a weird color. Color of the fish was really weird, as in bad wedding experience.経済学.
経済学。
経済学. 経済学の先生は優しい人です。
人。
人です。And this is a classic Duolingo. So they're showing you that hito, your old hito. So the other hito means person. So yasashi hito desu. So as opposed to nin, the counter that we're being introduced to. 経済学の先生は優しい人です。
先生は厳しいけど優しいです。
We have けど now. 先生は厳しいけど優しいです。けど oh, that's kind of a weird, a little. I kind of like it, and I kind of weirded out by it. So, for example, oftentimes in English, the but has been ascribed to the second clause. In Japanese, it looks like it's kind of ascribed to the previous clause, which makes sense because lots of like grammar and particles and stuff is assigned to the previous clause, like the thing before it. However, recent language, like in my opinion, migration, people often say but and pause. So I think coincidentally, this works really well. So you can say like, Sensei wa hibishi kedo yasashi desu. So you're saying like, yeah, the professor's strict, but he's nice, or the professor's nice, right? So you're actually pausing before the thing, which is it feels very natural these days. Usually how the comma works Like the pause would be the other way around, which is like sensei wa hibishii kedo yasashii desu. Right? The professor is strict, but he's nice anyways. Right? But he's nice. Right? So the but ends up going with the rest of the clause as opposed to the other way around. So that's kind of an interesting thought there. The professor is strict, but nice, right? But nice. So like in this way it's interpreted, it would say the professor is strict, but nice. The professor is strict, but nice. In Japanese, it's more like sensei wa the professor is strict but nice. The professor is strict but nice. Or more literally, I think it's more like the professor is strict but nice. But I feel like it's more like I prefer interpreting it as more like the professor is strict but they're nice. Yeah, or like but they're nice, or like they're nice also, kind of thing, although there's no also in this statement. Kind of feels like a consolation, like, oh yeah, strict but nice, why not? International student. I wonder if this brings back what is it, Kai guy? No, I don't think so. Maybe not. Probably not. The professor strict but nice. Not a phrasing that I typically use in English, but totally understood. Yeah, but nice. That's actually kind of nice, the way that's phrased.
優しい。
You understand the Japanese.
数学の先生は怖いですね。
数学の先生は怖いですね。そうですね。That's from last unit. そうですね。面白いで、けど、面白いけど、怖いです。Teacher is kind of strict, but nice. But nice. Okay, so ですね. So this person is saying the math teacher is scary, isn't he? Or the math teacher, yeah, aren't they? The math we're just gonna pick a pronoun, right? So the math professor is scary, isn't he? Right. Funny but scary. Funny or interesting but scary. Interesting but scary. You could say, right, he's funny but scary, but I prefer interesting. Like, he's interesting but scary.
週に1回数学の授業があります。
Yeah, you see, like in English, I naturally said but with the second clause. But in Japanese, the kedo is with the clause before it. So it's kind of an interesting mix right now. I don't know where I'm going to go with this. But yeah. Oh, hey there, excuse. Yahoo. Oh, what is this? Shoe? Is that shoe? Shoe ni.
週に1回数学の授業があります。
Okay, 週に1回。週に1回。数学の授業があります。Interesting. Something with a week?
週に
a week.
1回
Once a week. We were introduced to this phrasing before with ikai or kai in general. And I think it was like we use gakusei. We use gatsu. Yeah, we use different gatsu for like once a month and stuff. It was in our habit unit. It's going pretty well. Excuses. What excuses do you have for slacking off, huh? Excuses? Are you slacking? You better not be slacking. No excuses. 週に1回 Sorry. 週に1回修学の授業があります。そう。あります。授業があります。授業。1回、数学の授業。1回週に。Oh man, this is a colloquial thing. Omitting the article. It's referring to the same classroom, so I get you can drop A. So apparently a lot of verbs in Korean are borrowed from Chinese. Oh, interesting. We can compare notes in the future, Blair. That's interesting. Verbs. Have a math class once a week. Okay, so 週に。Alright, 週に。
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。週にはい。
4回。4回。
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。
タガログ語。Of course you're gonna put in タガログ語。
タガログ語
タガログ語
が。
タガログ語が。I can't tell you how when this was first introduced, Tagalog go. I'm like what? But now it's okay now. Tagalog go ga.
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。
授業
のあります。
Say that a couple times faster, right? Tagalog go ga. I miss Anki for one day. You and my teacher colleague. I didn't know. Hey, listen. I didn't know. I'm sorry. You're hearing goo gaga. Tagalog go ga. Tagalog go ga 授業のあります。週に4回 Tagalog go ga 授業の。Wait, actually.
が
Sorry.
の
It's mixed up. Wait.
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。
Sorry. I forgot that we have 授業 here. So we don't have to say Tagalog ga. We only have to say Tagalog go no. Alright. 週に4回 Tagalog goの授業があります。You hear it? You're hearing goo goo gaga? Play it again. Tagalog go. Don't Tagalog go. Tagalog go ga. Tagalog go gaga. Tagalog go gaga. Tagalog go. Tagalog go no 授業があります。Do you guys even know what this
タ
is?
ガログ語
Do you even know what Tagalog go is? Gagu.
タガログ語
Milk, please. Went down a rabbit hole on now I'm on Wikipedia. This is normal. Yeah, it is normal, Blair. I hope you get some. I hope you manage some sleep though, Blair. Don't get too caught up in the rabbit hole, or make a bed. You know, make sure to bring a pillow and some blankets while you're down in the rabbit hole. You know.
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。My jaw is stiff from all of that. We're gonna move along now.
週に3回文学の授業があります。
There's so many choices they can pick now. We have so much vocabulary. 週に3回文学の授業があります。Nah, we don't let sleep slide around here. Sleep? What is the concept you speak of? I'll probably nap later at work. Oh, okay. You're in the middle of cooking dinner? Okay, okay. Alright. Oh, it's nice that you can nap a bit at work. Same praise. You guys. Come on. Don't forget your sleep, okay? Don't forget your sleep. Cooking. Blair's cooking. Literally cooking right now. Blair is literally cooking. Let Blair cook, okay? Guys, no cap. Shoot. wait.
週に3回文学の授業があります。
週に3回文学の授業があります。Okay. Okay. あります。あります。文学の授業。文学の授業。3回。3回週に。Gross. Oh, now they're gonna use the article. Now they're gonna put in an article. I see how it is. Because it's 3 times, not 1 time. Heckin' English. Heckin' English. I don't know if you knew, but the previous one. You missed the Shashinko part? Did you beat my PB? What the heck is it? Listen, what do you think this is? We weren't gaming. Excuses. It was fine. We worked out the back of the cards. So now we're working on reading. PB. What do you think this is? A gaming stream? No, I figured. I have a literature class 3 times. Yeah, we love the A particle, right?
時々先生のオフィスアワーに行きます。
Office hour. Oh my gosh, that is such a... Wait. Oh my gosh, that is such a deep cut. I'm so glad they added office hour. That's the goat right there. Tokidoki sensei no office hour ni ikimasu. If you're at a university, you gotta know the office hours of your professor. Because that's where you, like, exploit the professor for information. And guidance. Maku just ain't got that dog in him. Man, I'm gonna show you a dog. Don't make me show you a dog. I don't have a dog. I can't do it. Maybe one day I'll draw a dog and I'm just gonna flash it on screen. Fucking dog. Tokidoki sensei no office hour ni ikimasu.
時々先生のオフィスアワーに行きます。
Hour. Okay, office hour ni ikimasu. Okay. I go to the professor's office hours sometimes. Wait. Hold up. Yeah? I mean, that checks out. That's kind of weird. But at the same time, it's kind of okay. Yeah. Sensei no office hour ni ikimasu. Okay. Yeah. Tanaka. Interesting. Tanaka sensei no office hour ni ikimasu. You can offer me a cat? Oh yeah, right. We gotta be careful. Excuses is a cat guy. I'm calling them out. Excuses is a cat guy, so Blair has got the way of it. Yeah, Excuses is a cat guy. Wait, who is a dog guy? We had a dog guy when Excuses is absent. Oh, Kamiya is a dog guy. So all we need is Kamiya to show up, and then Excuses and Kamiya can duke it out. Duke it out. You know, cats rule, dogs drool, etc. I forgot what the opposite, like what does dog say in response. Haven't met one prof who generally likes office visits. It's funny of you to think my professor cares about office hours. No, I was saying you exploit your professors about office hours. That's why they don't genuinely like office hours, you know? Well, actually, here's the thing. If your professor tells you what their office hours are, like what I mean is, like during your orientation, like the beginning, if they tell you what their office hours are, then you use it. If they like glance over it and they don't like repeat saying like, oh yeah, if you guys need any help, the exam is coming up and you know what my office hours are. If they don't voluntarily say that kind of thing, then you probably can read into it, I suppose. Generally though, it's a far more, you might be thinking this might sound counterintuitive, but generally speaking, when I have office hours, instead of using them as I just wait there and wait for someone to come, I set review sessions during office hour. And what happens is the people who come to office hours in the review sessions all gather with like minds. The ones that are doing well and stuff, they're no longer being distracted. It's a lot more of a focus group. So if you ever have a professor that says, okay, so I'm going to host a review session during an office hour. The idea is whoever goes there, most of them are voluntarily of similar minds. So the focus group would be quite focused. And generally, you'd be surprised the problems you have or the questions that you have are shared among the people who voluntarily go. And then all the ones that are doing well will not go. And that's usually what distracts the professor from helping things. So if a professor has time to set a review session for office hours and you feel like you need help with something, those are very opportune moments. It's generally in a classroom setting. The professor is more focused on getting the unit completed because they're assuming everyone in their class will approach them with problems at their own time. In my opinion, that's my personal opinion. I cut out so much more time by hosting a review session than expecting someone to come to me when they need help. Because oftentimes, low key, your professor probably already knows you're in trouble, like you're struggling. The thing is, yes, on the one side, you should, as students, you should be taking responsibility for your own progress and your own proficiency. However, on the other hand, sometimes in the long run, hosting like review sessions during an office hour cuts out a lot of excessive unexpected office visits. So you can like fell swoop, gather together. And a nice thing that comes out of it sometimes is that the students who often go to the review sessions hosted by a professor or one of their students, like one of their, if you're in a big enough university, usually the professor has 2 or 3 graduate students that are with them, and they would host the review sessions. And that's what I usually do. I'm the person who would be the graduate student that was hosting the review sessions for the professor, my boss, my mentor. And those sessions, those people in those sessions tend to end up becoming associated with each other, and they would help each other out, and they would perform, in my opinion, they typically end up performing as groups quite a bit better than what they used to perform. So you know that the people who go there, all of you feel maybe the same way, regardless of where your competence is. Yeah. And all the ones that are loners and doing well, or all the ones that are saying, yeah, I don't care enough for this, they're not there anymore. That's kind of one of the deep cuts about office hours, at least in my opinion. I see it as, if you really gotta bother me, then come at this time, Cap. Bro, your professor literally responds to your email around 11. Yeah. That might be a professor that's very, very busy. Or like maybe just prioritizing things differently. Office hours to them is arbitrary. That's fair enough. If you can, I'm not speaking for all professors, obviously. I'm speaking for I'm sharing some signs of particular professors that you should look out for or maybe take advantage of. Not in like a amoral way, but more like learn, all the wisdom needed to pick out professors. Like a lot of things about college, the mixed feelings and the ups and downs oftentimes can be circumvented if you have opportunities to select a particular class or find and word of mouth and all that, however exchange you have to find which professor. Sometimes it can be very tough because those professors can be very popular as well. I had a teacher in high school that would do the revision stuff. Yeah, I see. In the long run, at least my personal experience at a university setting, sometimes getting ahead of the thing to prevent something, like especially people from falling behind, is a win-win. It saves you time from getting that random homework submission at 11:59 p.m. right before the deadline, and then seeing a bunch of mess with like a broken, corrupted file. That is what I feel is a win-win. If you can prevent that and also use your office hours. So investing forward can go a long way, at least in my opinion. I'm not making this up. There are some students who said, oh, my internet wasn't fast enough, and I see that your assignment was submitted like 3 minutes after the midnight deadline. No cap. I'm like, it's okay. The student would email me, right? The student will email me and say like, oh, something happened and it's 5 minutes late. I hope I don't like lose points for it. And so say it's fine. It's fine. But tell me, why did you, like, I would love to know why not like 6 minutes earlier or 10 minutes earlier. You calling me out again? 11:59 is acceptable. I guess. I have so many interesting stories, but ultimately, if the student's not doing well, it means it's more work for the professor. So it's not a win-lose. There's no competition here. If you lose, then the professor loses too. In fact, it's so pervasive that sometimes professors would try to, like, the reputation of the professor is based on the success of the class. So it can get very hairy, even like ethically questionable at times. No one's winning when someone's failing, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying. I feel, unfortunately, that's not how some colleagues and whatnot that I've encountered feels, because their priority is their career. So that's kind of unfortunate. I've done it once when I had to zip and upload my demo game. Didn't know at the time uploading a game takes more than 4 hours. Yeah, that has happened before. Like when someone say like, oh yeah, this thing and this thing, is like, dude, do you know how big your data file is? It's gonna take a really long time. It's gonna take a really longest email I've ever sent to my professor asking for forgiveness. These things happen. I hope your professor was understandable. I was like, please don't fail me. I hope your professor was understandable. Usually the younger the professor is, the more likely they are forgiving. As in like, yeah, I've been there once. Like, it's like it was like yesterday. I've done it before. Or like, I've tried to work as hard and as long as possible, and I just couldn't make the deadline. That's happened before. Even in that way. Not even a procrastination thing. You just ran out of time, right? So these things will happen again, and I think being equally compassionate, regardless if you're the student or the professor, is a great thing. I like talking about school. I don't work in school anymore, so maybe that's why I like talking about school. Tanaka 先生のオフィスアワーに行きます。
オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
Okay, this is not to represent any other professor, but I am the graduate student that takes the office hours for other professors, and I'm always in the lab. So it's not, even if you make yourself available, sometimes taking the initiative as the person goes a long way, even when you're in a position of influence. Like, I tell students, right, like, I'm always in the lab. Like, there's no way you wouldn't be at your dorm before me. Like, I would not leave my lab before you go back to your dorms to do stuff. So you know where I am, this is the location, go find it in the building, right? However, this doesn't happen. Students do not, the ones that do well are the ones that come to office hours. It's weird, like, visits me individually. So the ones that are already doing well tend to be the more frequent ones who come individually and express their concerns and whatnot. So it's rarely ever the ones that, or far more rare, the ones that are either they don't understand that they're falling behind, or they think they're doing okay and they'll make it by. So oftentimes I'm like, I do both. I set reviews for office hours so that it's a collective that's going to the review session. It makes it a little bit more comforting that it's a review session with other people. Feeling singled out tends to be a thing that is very intimidating, even though I'm a student, right? I'm not the professor, like, I'm not the teacher, that I'm not their teacher. I'm the assistant. I am the teaching assistant. So oftentimes that can be a little bit more comforting, but maybe not as reliable, because I'm not the one making the test, right? I talk to the professor and know as much as I can, but generally speaking, the professor is the one that makes the exams. You kind of feel for the kids, right?
オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
Lucky the assignment leading up was to show the progress, so she knew I actually had the game and passed me. Oh, okay, well, that's lovely. Yeah, I guess it's because those are the people who actually care, not that they're actually falling behind so much. Yeah. So really though, I know this sounds a little bit like aggressive, but sometimes if they're going to be there, you have to try to make them care, even the ones that are falling behind. It's a lose-lose situation. When the university's classes are consistently underperforming, that's not great for quote-unquote business. It's not great for meritocracy. So it has to be a selfless thing, which, gonna be real, when you have tired out teachers and tired out people and researchers who are looking for grants and fundings on top of teaching, it can, human nature rears its ugly head. Like some professors and other things, they're like, funding, maybe their research might not go. It's very tiresome, and it's a very selfless thing. You have to invest forward to make sure that, because by default the university will lose, right? So it's a very, very unfortunate, it's like a zero-sum game. It's oftentimes a zero-sum game, and you can, with that in mind, you can probably see, at least in the United States, I'm sure it's kind of similar elsewhere, but in the United States, you can see why going into academia requires and doing it well in academia requires very, very special people. I can't do that. So office consulting with MAKU. But I can't do that. So that's obviously why I'm not doing it now. It was not sustainable for me. I would stretch myself too thin and not get things done.
オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
I would need to have like very I would need to have very talented people who work for me and equally as exhaustively passionate about fostering, student success. That would be the only super ideal way I would be able to manage at a university. And you can't have those things without surviving without those things. It's kind of like how do you make lots of money? By using lots of money. So that's where academia can fail. They select you out before it's possible. So like, how would I be able to know if I would be successful, if I can run a successful research lab while juggling my passion for teaching? Well, I can't. I have to know how to do it without anything first. And if that selects me out, then that's why you don't have those teachers anymore. You don't have professors like that because only the hardened ones, a lot of the hardened ones are the ones that survive. And the problem with that is if the pre-selection hardens the professor, then naturally most of the professors are going to be slightly hardened by the time they become your professors. They're going to be slightly cynical, right? They're going to be exhausted. So they're not in their peak condition, if you will, to be compassionate to you. And that's kind of the nature of the selection factor. It's kind of like saying, oh no, another businessman cares about money. It's like, well, yeah, they're a successful businessman because it was pre-selected for their ability to make money first. By the time they become successful, they will have acquired the necessity, skills, and balance necessary. So they're not entirely generous, but they're also not entirely greedy. And most of the professors that are at the university level, that's what they are. They're not entirely compassionate, but they're not foolishly compassionate, for example, and they also are not foolishly pragmatic. They're balanced. So you have to find a professor that has the balance for you. Student, hey Dr. Maku, I'm struggling with cell division. Maku said, oh no, Cap, let me cook real quick. So sick. Honestly, I did use colloquialisms to help engage the student. I literally talked about League of Legends in a chemistry lab. I used an analogy for gaming for a couple times already.
オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
To connect with the students so that they don't feel like they're on edge.
オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
オフィスアワー
の
アワーは
木曜日
の
10時からです。オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's a good turn of phrase. オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。You still accepting that I can pay with my wittiness? There are here's a interesting take. It is a hit or miss, but if you were looking for someone to supplement a professor thing and you have resources, right? If you had resources, I would probably low-key find at your university, if it's a graduate university, as in like there are graduate students, right there, I would go around and ask which graduate student do most people approach to get information or to get help from, because the graduate students are more likely to be the ones that may have free time, and they also are closer to ideally the mindset of passing exams and like understanding their professor and being a little bit more loose. So oftentimes a source for insight are either your upperclassmen, and graduate students are typically upperclassmen, like, but they're not like in your class here. But if you're at a university that has graduate students and undergrads, right, those are the students that will be able to leave an impression on you, because the professor is one person and they're incredibly busy. Sometimes they're out of the office for like months. If they're really successful professors, they would be preoccupied all the time. So that's kind of leads to that whole saying like their office hours might be arbitrary, because they are incredibly busy.
オフィスアワーは木曜日の10時からです。
It's like a superhero. Shoe. Oh, just
週
shoe. Okay. All right.
週
Shoe.
週
Oh, here's another low key. If you have money and you know there's a school run tutoring system, and somehow most kids, like if you hear rumors that there's someone that name constantly comes up as a reason for them succeeding, that would be a lifeline for anyone who's struggling or just want to do even better. Like sometimes I would say in retrospect, I would go and do the tutoring thing anyways if you have the resource. Just because you probably get off, you can like get future stuff or enrichment from this person. It's kind of like interacting with a streamer at this point, or like interacting with someone else online kind of thing, if you find anyone like that. My university that I used to go had a lot of resources, so these things are examples. And I'm going to constantly say this: if your university have the resources, and if you have the resources, definitely make sure to make use of it, right? If it's sitting there and not being used, then you aren't maximizing, you aren't trying to improve your position, in my opinion. Yeah, I understand that the head of the department actually has his own indie team company. Ooh. So they don't have much. Oh, that's kind of cool. That's actually, that's really cool. So they're interesting. Huh. What kind of person is the biology professor? I've already forgotten. What is it? Seibutsu, right? Seibutsugaku.
生物学
Seibutsugaku
の
の
先生
先生
は
はどんな
どんな
人ですか? Some of the students actually interned there. You can find some of those students. That would be definitely something to look at. Interns. 生物学の先生はどんな人ですか? The biology professor is a nice person. Okay.
生物学
生物学の先生はいい人です
です
よ。
よ
Okay. Textbook 教科書
教科書
Kyogasho. Oops, I accidentally added too long at the end. Kyogasho. Kyogasho.
歴史の教科書。
Rekishi no kyogasho. History textbook. Or a history textbook? Heck you. Heck you article.
プログラミング言語。
Programming. Programming. There you go. Programming. Genko. Wait, I don't have Genko. Oh yeah, I do have Genko actually. Do I have Genko? Yeah, that's a return. Programming Genko. Programming Genko.
プログラミング言語。
Programming Genko. Gengo. Why do you ngol me? Don't ngol me. Purogu. Programming.
プログラミング。
Programming. Oh yeah. Puro is a separate word. Or separate thing. So Programming Gengo. Neat. That's very nebulous excuses.
プログラミング
Programming. How are you gonna sell yourself if you're using if you describe it like
プログラミング
Programming. Shimekiri. Wait. Shiki. Wait. Shimekiri. Oh, Shimekiri. Yeah, Shimekiri wa ashita. Ashita desu. Demo, programming no what? Nani wa shitakunai desu. Shitakunai desu. Shukudai. Shukudai.
宿題
Shukudai. Sorry, shukudai. Why does that look so weird? Shukudai. I was looking for something else.
原宿屋上図書館宿題
What was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for work or assignment. If I were to make a haven't played Halo before, but I was playing Destiny 2 the other day, so I guess that's close. Sub-Zero. If I were to make a game, I make a Japanese indie game for learning with all sorts of raw grammar, just like MAKU. Wow. I feel so flattered by that direct attack. New game concept. MAKU. Yanai desu. Wow. Amazing. Amazing. I feel so attacked.
メディアセンターは便利ですよ。
And then I'll turn it into a game worth playing. No cap.
メディアセンターは便利ですよ。
I'll turn it into how to use a game deliberately for the purpose of correcting grammar and testing your own grammar. Easy clap. Yeah, the How to Korea page has a section on Anja, so I can at least recognize big, small, door, and mountain. Ah, okay. Okay. If you make a game that's deliberately has the wrong grammar, then I'll use it as an exercise to get the right grammar. I would deliberately... Actually, that is a video game. No, wait. No, hold on. Sub-Zero, you deliberately described a video game. That is what a video game is. Sub-Zero. Like you literally described a video game. You make a game that gives you things to correct. Because that's the point of the game. Like, if you made a game that's focused on giving you the wrong information, the whole point of the game is to learn how to get correct the wrong information, right? Those are obstacles. They're problems. It's a puzzle game. You literally you literally created a puzzle game. That's hilarious though. That is the concept.
メディアセンタ
That
ー
sounds like some FromSoft stuff, man. You just took a FromSoft approach to learning. Yeah, puzzle games. They literally don't tell you anything and tell you that all rules are made to be broken. Here you go. Have fun. Go find out. Whatever genre that game falls under, I'll stay very far away. Nah, just play a FromSoft game. You got it. Piece of cake.
メディアセンタ
Media Center は便利でしょう。Media Center. I'm curious what they mean by
ー
media
メディア
center.
センタ
Maybe like the computer lab at a university, like the computer lab or the IT resources. Media Center は便利でしょう。Have fun, go find out is such a FromSoft concept. Yeah, it's basically, you know. In that case, I make its own mini game called Detect the Error, but the real error are when you're out of the mini game. There is a game like that. So there's a game series by this person. I don't know if you let me find them. I played most of their games so far. So there is a game. There is a game developer. I think they're still a solo dev. Maybe not a solo dev. They might have a bigger team now. His name is Daniel Mullins. If you ever played a Daniel Mullins game, all his games are a string of mini games, and those mini games are to define and defy most classical logic. Daniel Mullins. He makes games. His last game was Inscription. But before that was Pony Island. His next game is Pony Island 2, which is a sequel to the breakout Pony Island. He makes lots of mini games to define so like the structure of those mini games. They still obey rules and stuff, but he always throws a wrench in them deliberately to off balance the person. You're telling me I can make a learning game that MAKU wouldn't find productive? Nah, everything's productive because well, most things are productive because my goal in a game is to know the developer. So if I play the game, the goal is to understand the developer's point of view, not what so the game itself is a product and an extension of the developer. So if the developer deliberately made something to do something to mislead you, then if you play the developer, then you play the game. Yeah, Daniel Mullins is a fantastic indie gamer, like indie game developer. And he recently, Devolver, I think Devolver is the one that distributed Inscription. Very fantastic game developer. His philosophies are unhinged, incredibly unhinged. I really love it.
メディアセンターは便利ですよ
So shout outs to Daniel Mullins.
よくメディアセンターで課題をしますか？よくメディアセンター。よくメディアセンターで課題をしますか？課題をしますか？
Wait.
しますか？よくメディアセンターで課題をしますか？よくメディアセンターで課題をしますか？
Why does it sound like they're saying yo there instead of oh?
毎日メディアセンターで勉強します。
毎日メディアセンターで勉強します。Okay.
たまにグループで勉強します。
I might not know anything about programming, like literally doing the programming work, but I can tell you that without, like, as humbly as I can, before language learning, most of my efforts were dealing with how to engage people to get them to learn things and think about things and solve problems. So if there's any perfect storm of that type of thing, it's video game. And I have probably dedicated quite a lot, the vast majority of my life to finding that intersection of game theory and education. And not just education for the sake of education, like learning some sort of science or something. Largely anything. And then speaking and stuff when you're trying to like sell something, right? Or you're trying to be provocative and communication, that's part of the package deal. If you don't know how to speak or write or express things, how would you produce a product, in my opinion, that would engage and teach people things, right? So if you're telling yourself, I have no idea how to describe my future game, you're going to have a problem. I'm sorry. That sounded a little bit scary, but I hope you guys find whatever you're gonna make in the future, you'll be able to like express and communicate it. Because it's gonna be very difficult if you don't. You have to be able to understand that you must bring your vision before your vision is possible, right? How do you convince someone, or how do you convince people to enable you? You could be the 1 in a billion. Okay, not a billion. Maybe 1 in a million people who go and just do the thing alone and it works, right? There are those people, right? Stardew Valley developer, for example. Toby Fox, the Undertale developer, for an example. But that's sheer willpower and requires a substantial amount of luck. So you could be one of those people. Or you can be the consistency game and work on your communication skills and your, like, all your the various communications. Because if you work on it now, in my opinion, if you work on it now, if you're caught with your pants down, you'd be ready to pull them up, right? I know that idiom just whoosh, but what I mean is don't get caught with your pants down. if Daniel Mullins just randomly walked by you one day, like, excuses, you're just chilling there, you're working on your project, and Daniel Mullins just walked by you one day, and you're like, dude, isn't that the dude? And then you're like, wait, this is opportunity. I could like go up to them and say like, hi, how would I approach this person? And then how would I like try to get his contact information, or try to like pitch something to them without sounding like I'm pitching to them? That's what I mean. Prepare for the day. Prepare for the day and seize all the opportunities. You gotta get ready for that kind of thing. Can I just help and be on a team? Well, you have to get on a team. Excuses. Sorry. That's a little... I know that sounds... It's easier said than done, but you have to get on a team. To be part of a team. You lack the creativity to produce these games like other people. I know, but you have to be able to express it. You know? You work... Like, at least in my opinion. If you can't express why you want to be part of a team, that's also, you know, kind of tough for people to put you on a team. Tamani, what's the...
Group de.
Group de. Oh, well, there you go.
たまにグループで勉強します。
Group de 勉強します。Tamani. Oh, yeah, don't be like this goober. We occasionally study as a group. Don't be like this, Goober. Naive of you to think you're socially confident. Oh, you're fine. Oh, hello there, Jack. Yes. I would think Daniel has a very nice shirt and run away. tamani group de 勉強します。Okay. よくグループでスペイン語を練習します。
グループで数学の宿題をします。
グループで数学の宿題をします。宿題。Okay. Oh. Okay. We're doing Sugaku. Oh. Doing the Sugaku no Shikudai. I guess the math homework, sure. You got it. Just work. Work. Shikudai de Sugaku no whoops. group de Shugaku no skudai o shimasu. You know, there is always the intuitive route, and that's to practice and be around people, communicate, right? And hope and have fingers crossed that you're like a sponge and you just osmosis the communication skill to you. There's like a contact osmosis on figuring out how to present yourself charismatically and expressively without being overbearing and arrogant. It's an art form, obviously. Communication, interpersonal communication is an art form. If there was a template for that type of success, then there would be far less misunderstandings in this world we live in. But that is generally not the case, right? There are leaders, there are impressionable people, and then there are substantially more of unimpressionable. Which one are you? No. No cap though, no cap. Semi-serious.
課題は難しいけど授業は楽しいです。
課題は難しいけど授業は楽しいです。I'm not, but I've gone to game dev conferences and seen what is needed to put yourself out there. I know there are things I have to improve about myself. That's awesome. That's great. And also, you have opportunities to go to game dev conferences. See, and I guess I like your quotes on what is needed. I think the word needed, instead you can use it as you've been to a conference with lots of inspirations, right? Different takes on how you can go about putting yourself out there. It is a necessity, unfortunately. Like, it's a gateway. Talent is fantastic, and if you get lucky, you can get scouted based on your talent. However, instead of waiting on just the talent, finding ways to inspire yourself to be more visible without necessarily like detracting from your talent, like the thing you're curating. Finding some time to make yourself more visible increases day after day the possibility of being scouted. So like someone who has no influence at all, like by the numbers, could still be incredibly visible to important people. So that's kind of the deception here. That's kind of nuance that I feel a lot of non-professionals fail to grasp, in my opinion. Someone who has little to no, like, I don't know, social media presence could have far more influence than someone who has a lot. You just can't see it if you're not in a position to see it. You can be instantly visible to someone, even within the masses, surrounded by a saturated field that you go into. And that is a priceless asset. Oftentimes, the best and most talented are overlooked due to their lack of visibility. That's not to say that there are lots of talented scouts out there who are trying to do their best to look for talent and assets as they come. But, you know, the world has a way where meritocracy can be overshadowed, for better or for worse, by charisma and the ability for, you know, empathy and compassion, expression. So sometimes the talented can get frustrated by that, where like, well, this person is mediocre at best. I don't understand why this person, so many people trust and are willing to help this person, but not me. That kind of thing. It can be a very cruel and unforgiving reality. If you, for whatever effort you have, you know, keep doing the things you love to do and foster your merit, but at some point do a little here and there of making yourself visible, so that inevitable, hopefully inevitable scout or serendipitous encounter will lead you to your foundation. And when you get started, then the rest is history, really, after you get started. I'm merely talking this way because oftentimes I'm talking to people who has yet to start yet, and they're very hopeful, and I don't want to sound too daunting. Or you can be very, very lucky. Luck is still there. Luck is ever present. So one can prey on luck if you want. I'm not the kind of guy who spends time counting my luck coins. You know, how much luck I have left in life. Gotta replenish the luck pool. 課題は難しい。授業は楽しいです。Okay. けど。
経済学は難しいけど、授業は面白いです。
Oh, 経済 yeah. Wait. Yes.
経済学
経済学
は難しいけど、授業は面白いです。
経済学は難しい。難しいけど、授業は面白いです。
経済学は難しいけど、授業は面白いです。
経済学は難しいけど、授業は面白いです。
経済学は難しいけど、授業は面白いです。パフェ。
Uh-oh. Oh, right.
教科書。
教科書。
イヤリング。
悲しい。
女優。
教科書。
数学の課題はどうですか？
You met some Ubisoft and Epic game developers. It really put into perspective the industry and the confidence that is needed to show what you can create with some consistency and creativity. Talent to them came second, honestly. Indeed. It's a very sobering reality. A reality that can be very motivating for people who have like imposter syndrome issues, but at the same time it is very sobering to those who are potentially very arrogant and overestimating their talents, right? So sobering in many ways. And my pursuit of science was to the realization that sometimes you don't have to be a generalized, specialist or like an incredible specialist to contribute to a bigger thing than yourself. So oftentimes that often gets projected when you ever hear a person like a developer or a group leader or something give a presentation on their vision. You can basically be swayed with them saying absolutely nothing. Like, I joke about it, but when you see like press conferences and TED Talks, now there is something to be said about people who excel at that, where like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing, like yeah, give us, and then when you walk away, you're like, what did they say they were gonna do? It's like, I don't know, man, but it sounded really good. Let's just like trust them, bro. That kind of thing. That's when you know someone. That's when you know someone's very good, but also potentially dangerous in the sense that you gotta be realistic. For every like game developer that's exceptionally eloquent, there are also examples where there might be some the passion might leak out a little too much sometimes. We've heard those stories. I don't have to like open a can of worms here. Shizuka no 数学の課題はどうですか？授業は優しいけど課題は難しいです。Okay, so they're demonstrating that you can flip the sentiments. You can start with something positive and then flip it to something negative. There's no like weirdness where you have to start with something positive and then say the negative thing. I mean, start with something negative and then say the positive thing. Motivating for sure, but also overwhelming. What the heck is that emote? Could I one day be as great as this? That's an interesting thought. I don't think I've ever thought about that before. Huh. I don't think any time in my life did I ever thought, could I be as great as someone? Huh. That's an interesting thought. It's stressful thinking about it. Comedy. I need to drown my sorrows in comedy. Yeah, I'm not I'm kind of curious, if I interviewed a bunch of successful people, how consistent would someone say that they ever thought about being as great as someone else? As opposed to, I will be different than this person. Whether that's greater or not are for my jury and my peers to decide, but I know I'll contribute something of my own. So rarely do I ever worry about what someone else is contributing, because I am going to contribute something of my own. I don't know if that's helpful or not, but generally speaking, I don't think I've ever considered myself comparable to someone. They are definitely inspirational, for sure, but I wouldn't want to be as great as someone or like someone in any way. I would like to do all the things that they might be able to impart upon me. But the idea is the greatest thing you can give is a piece of yourself, not an imitation of someone else. In my opinion. So you don't have to worry, in my opinion. Less worrying about being modeled after someone. More into what you can offer. Or what you can work on offering.
毎日
毎日
メディアセンター
メディア in media メディアセンター
で
勉強します。Economics is difficult, but the classes are interesting. My expectations, I'm aware enough to admit it. I don't think I can contribute anything better than someone, so I'd rather strive to be as good as them. Alright, excuses. Alright. We'll talk about this in another 5 years. It is a it is a perspective in the start. I will definitely have to give you that. It is a perspective that I encounter quite often early on. I think the perspective may change. Give it a couple years. It may change. It's very likely to change. The perspective that I'm talking about might not be very relatable yet. And then I won't be able to relate to you in another 5 years because I'll be 5 years in another mindset. But you know, the cycle continues. We can always go back to this recorded memory, right? I might not be the same person in another 5 years as well.
経済学
経済学は
難しい
難しいけど授業は面白いです。
面白いです。
I'm not speaking for other people. I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not a guy that tends to try to stay the same or like preserve oneself. I don't rest on my laurels or whatever laurels I have. For better or for worse. Sometimes I have off years, sometimes I have on years. But the idea is staying static is not worth living. Living is quite boring, in my opinion, if one constantly tries to preserve something static. I'll hold you to it. My next appointment's booked and scheduled 5 years later. Yeah, we'll probably revisit this topic if we are still around in 5 years. Right. It'll definitely be different. I will likely be 5 years wiser, and I hope you will be 5 years wiser. And my personal opinion is that in 5 years, I hope you don't say the exact same thing you say today. Because to me, it would be incredibly disheartening to know that in 5 years' time, nothing about your perspective has changed. Which means that you drifted through life. You would likely have drifted through life preserving the same exact position. And I find that sometimes it makes my soul cry when I know that someone spent 5 years and absolutely nothing has changed. Like for better or for worse. Usually for the better, right? Like they didn't gather any additional wisdom. That's kind of like a sad movie, right? Like you don't want to see the character stay in place and tread in place for 5 years, right? So 5 years 5 years excuses. No excuses, okay? No excuses. We'll talk about all the perspective shifts. We'll remember this conversation. Yeah? Yeah.
Go.
I told myself I wouldn't go too late today, but I think I'm kind of failing again. All right, go. Go is fine. We knew go for a really long time now. It's here. It's done. We have graduated.
Go.
Go. We can finally
Go.
We can finally go. Dumb. 5 years later, my name is so many excuses. Alright.
日本語
Nihongo. That's it. We graduated. This is done. We're done. We can go to Nihon. Right? Nihon. That's it. We're done. We've graduated. Nihongo. It took over 46 days to get Nihongo.
日本語の授業はどうですか？
Nihongo no jugyo wa dou desu ka? There it is.
ヨーロッパの大学。
Europa. Oh my gosh. Europa. Europa no gakusei. Oh, no. Daigaku. Europa no daigaku. Okay. A European. Oh, I see. It has the Europa. Oh, hey, you know what? Is that why sometimes you can have Europa as a is that why some video games have Europa as a location? Huh.
ヨーロッパの言語を2つ話します。ヨーロッパの言語を2つ話します。
ヨーロッパの
言語
を
話します。ヨーロッパの言語を2つ話します。
Oh.
2つ
2つ
ヨーロッパの言語を2つ話します。
Okay. Fair enough. ヨーロッパの言語を2つ話します。Interesting.
ヨーロッパの言語を2つ話します。
Two European languages.
ヨーロッパの言語を3つ勉強しました。
ヨーロッパの言語をOh no, that sounds like some influencer stuff. It's like, how many languages do you know? I know 2. Well, I know 3. It's like, well, one of them don't count. Well, one of yours don't count. It's like, I know 4. Oh my gosh. Sorry, but oh boy. That stuff comes at you fast when you start learning a language. ヨーロッパの言語を3つ勉強しました。I studied 3 European languages. Neat.
マレーシアの留学生。
マレーシアの留学生。マレーシアの留学生。Okay. Fair enough. International student. 留学生。マレーシアの留学生。
マレーシアの留学生。
留学生。
よくカナダの留学生と話します。
よくカナダの留学生と話します。 Okay.
ドイツ語は難しいですか？
ドイツ語は難しいですか? Is German difficult? Oh, I did me. If I had $1 for all the euphemisms surrounding difficult things in life, since I started learning Japanese, I might have like $30 about now. I think it's happened about 30 times. ドイツ語は難しいですか?
ドイツ文学は難しいけど大好きです。
ドイツ文学は難しいけど大好きです。Okay, I like it. I can get behind this. German literature is difficult, but I love it. I can get behind this. I'm okay with this. I have oftentimes whenever I ask something, and if the criteria is rather something is difficult or not, and then there's no like but, like a big but with 3 T's coming after that, I tend to worry, or I tend to be more skeptical than someone who says German literature is challenging. However, right? Like whenever there must be I often have more confidence in someone who has however or but after something that is negative remark like that, or something that is bound by perceived difficulty. Why 3? 3 what? Oh, why 3 languages? Wait. What do you mean why 3? Oh, why 3 T's? Oh, because it's bigger than 2 T's. Obviously. But with 3 T's. It's a big but. You know, a big but. 3 T's is bigger than 1. Bigger than 2. You know? It's a joke. No, I just kidding. So 1 but is the default. But then when I say but, like a big but, that's, you know, the regular but. But I'm saying a big but. There's got to be a big but. So it's bigger than that but. And it's also bigger than that but. So why 3? It's 3 T's. It's greater than this but. And it's greater than this but. So don't give me any buts. No excuses, okay? You should rename your name to no buts with 3 T's. Sorry. Sorry, that was a little sassy. It's like from now on you are no buts with 3 T's. No buts. I don't want to hear any buts. Oh no, actually I do want to hear buts. Wait, that sounded that didn't quite. All right, I gotta rethink that. That didn't quite send the message that I wanted. It's fine. We'll rehearse that in the future.
イタリア語は難しいけど毎日勉強します。イタリア語はイタリア語は難しいけど毎日勉強します。
毎日勉強します。Okay.
難しいけど
勉強
毎日勉強します。イタリア語は難しいけど毎日勉強します。
This is probably the first time you've ever is this the first time you ever heard me say it's a big but, a but with 3 T's? There's a pattern of speech that happens a lot, and I have acquired that pattern of speech where when someone says something like, for example, oh man, this is the absolute best thing ever. But kedo, right? Kedo. And lots of times that's how people set you up, right? Set you up most of the time. They're like, oh yeah. But and I got so used to hearing that, so now I just say, oh okay. Oh wait though. Hear me out here. There's a but coming up. And it's a big but. 3 T's. Big but. And then I go on. It's kind of the thing. I know I'm explaining myself, but you're probably gonna hear it at some time. Welcome to the Butt Club with 3 T's.
イタリア語は難しいけど毎日勉強します。
You're not gonna be able to unhear it. I'm telling you, the next time you watch an influencer, the next time you watch a content creator who's like analytical of any nature, every time they're gonna say but, you're gonna think BTTT. You know, that's you're done. You're never gonna escape this. You can't live this down anymore. No excuses.
ベトナム語は面白いけどあまり勉強しません。
I have tainted your mind. Welcome. I've taken a portion of your mind. ベトナム語はベトナム語 Wait.
ベトナム語は面白いけどあまり勉強しません。
Hold up. Yeah, okay. I guess. Yeah, I guess. ベトナム語 Sorry. ベトナム語は面白いけど I keep saying けどあまり勉強しません。Okay, that's interesting. Don't really study it? Yeah? Wait. Yeah? Man, tainted, corrupted, defiled, and many more. Yes. I've permanently taken residency in your brain. Welcome to the fold. 日本語 Often talk with a Canadian international student. Okay, right.
よく
いや、よく留学生 Where are you?
留学生
Oh, 留 not ど留学生と
話します。
I've got カナダのよくカナダの留学生と話します。
日本語
日本語の授業はどうですか Short. Interesting. 演劇 Oh, I see where they're getting that.
演劇
演劇
サークル
演劇サークル演劇
サークル
に入りたいです。
演劇サークルはどんなサークルですか？
Okay. 演技サークルはどんなサークルですか？
来学期。
来学期。来学期。Oh, 来学期。Okay, so we can confirm. 本学期。来学期。Okay. Oh yeah, they're just. I wonder what gaki looks like as a kanji read in the future. So this is next semester. Rai gaki.
来学期
Rai gaki 毎日ちゃんと勉強します。
勉強。
ちゃんと。I said ちゃんと。
はい、ぜひ。
はい。ぜひ。Definitely. Yes. Definitely.
ぜひ一緒に文学の課題をしましょう。ぜひ、豚肉、豚肉、文学
の
ぜひ一緒に文学の課題をしましょう。一緒にぜひ一緒に文学の課題をしましょう。
課題
をしましょう。ぜひ一緒に文学の課題をしましょう。
Fair enough.
忙しいスケジュールですね。
忙しいスケジュール。Oh my gosh. Okay. スケジュール。Okay. スケジュールですね。
忙しいスケジュールですね。
スケジュールですね。Okay. 忙しいスケジュールですね。
来週のスケジュールはどうですか？来週スケジュールはです。どう
ですか？
かの。来週のスケジュールはどうですか？
来週のスケジュールはどうですか？
来月のスケジュールはどうですか？
Whoops. Wait.
一緒に演劇サークルに入りませんか？
一緒に演劇サークルに入りませんか？入りませんか？演劇サークル。一緒に。Cool, okay. This is美術の授業選びました。Choose. Oh, we got it in Shashinko, but I don't remember.
選びました。
選
びました。
In Shashinko, but I don't remember getting erau here. Erabimashita. Interesting. Did I really have erabimashita?
どの授業を選びましたか？
I don't think so. どの授業を選びましたか？歴史と文学を選びました。How's next week's schedule?
来週
の
スケジュール
スケジュールはどうですか？選びました。 と、来
来学期。
来学期。来学期
の
の
授業
を
選びましたか。
選びましたか。来学期の授業を選びましたか。Alright. There's a lot of vocabulary. I'm a little concerned. And I'm also running late.
ヨーロッパの文学は面白いですよ。
ヨーロッパの文学は面白いでしょ。演劇
サークル
に入りたいです。
この教科書は少し変です。
この教科書。この教科書は少し変です。OK。So, 教科書 is a new thing. この教科書。この教科書は少し変です。
先生。
田中先生のオフィスアワーに行きます。
あ、私も同じテストを受けました。
オフィスアワー。私も同じテストを受けました。受けました。Also, gotta remember, 受けました。I also took the same test. 私も同じテストを受けました。日本で日本語を勉強しましたが、勉強したいです。Okay. Yeah. Says every Japanese learner, I suppose. Perhaps not myself, but a lot of Japanese. It's getting late here. Gotta go consult your bed. Well, at the end of Japanese and chat. Yeah. Oh no. Oyasumi nasai. Yeah, thanks for the chat. It's mutual. Excuses. Good luck. Good luck with everything. Until next time. 日本で日本語を勉強したいです。
生物学の教科書はとてもいいです。
生物学の教科書はとてもいいです。教科書 and 生物学。生物学の教科書はとてもいいです。I'm surprised they didn't do the linker, adjective linker, because they could have said something like 生物学の教科書はとてもいいで面白いです。Like add an extra adjective here and there to integrate last unit.
カイさん、歴史の宿題は終わりましたか？カイ。 3、甲斐さん、歴史の宿題は終わりましたか？
歴史の
宿題は、
what?
甲斐さん、歴史の宿題は終わりましたか？
ありましたか？終わりましたか？
終わりか。
Oh, right. 終わりましたか？What is that? That's like 4 or 5 new predicates? Or maybe like 4 or 5 predicates, but 1 or 2 being recycled with new definitions.
どの授業を選びましたか？
どの授業を選びましたか？選びましたか？選びましたか？生物学を選びました。選びました。
ドイツ文学は難しいけど大好きです。ドイツ文学は難しいけど大好きです。ドイツ文学は難しいけど大好きです。
ドイツ文学は難しいけど大好きです。
数学のテストは終わりましたか？
数学
のテストは終わりました。
終わりましたか？
週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。週に4回タガログ語の授業があります。
And this one is so outrageous. Okay. Alright, 15 minutes of kanji. What do we have? Oh, that's not too bad. Just go? Okay. Go, nanin. Oh, I totally forgot nanhin. And then nihon comes backward because nihongo. Yep, there it is.
日本語。
Nihongo.
Okay. Alright, fine.
日本語
Or fine.
語り
I actually have the simplified
Nihongo.
version for a vocabulary word
語り
I must know in a few minutes. So,
語り。
not bad.
日本語
語り日本語
語り
日本語
日本語
語り。
日本語。
Get more
Yes, get more.
土曜日4時間
Oops.
日本語
What I was doing. 日本語
語り
語り日本語
日本語
日本語。
語り
日本語。
日本語
日本語
語り
語り。
だったー。おわらら What?
語り。
I heard katari before, so it's gotta be this.
日本語
I don't know what that means though.
語り
日本語
Oh, maybe I could have.
語り
No. I saw a blue marker though.
日本語
Maybe I can tag and see what it means.
語り
Nope, that one's not blue.
語り
語り語り
Oops.
日本語
Okay. Body.
語り
Body. Nope, still no opportunity
語り
to guess.
語り
語り
Oh, maybe I could have hovered over that
日
one.
本語
日本語
Oh, no. Does it even work? No, it doesn't.
語り
日本語
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 日本
Oh, here it is. Katari. I'm guessing it's still language. Okay. Sure. At least I know what it sounds
日
like.
本語
And I saw the hirakana.
語り
語り日本語
日本語
語り
語り
日本語
日本語
語り
Oshi. Okay. Nanin.
何人
Oshi.
少し
Nanin.
二人
二人
少し痛い
痛い痛い
何人近い
少しし
何人
何人
少し
少し
少多い
い
4人
人
近い
近い
少し
少し
何人
何人何人
4
4
人
人近い
好き何
何
人
人
少し
し少し
少し
何人少し古い近い2人
えOh, there's more. 人気
人気
Yeah, 人気 Okay,
何
何人yeah. Got it.
4
4
日
日
5
5
月
月
何人2
2
人
人
人気
何人
人気
人気 Okay.
人気。
何人
何人
人気。何時。2月。何人。
2日。Ooh, that's a little saucy. Okay. 何曜日。何人。
何人。
Fair enough. 何曜日。
何人。4人。何曜日。水曜日。木曜日。
Okay.
何人
Okay. 何人。
何曜日
何曜日。
何曜日何人
Ooh. It's a little lower than
何回。何人。金曜日。日曜日。何曜日。
Okay. Still more, huh? 何人 Okay. 日本語。
日本。
Okay.
な
何人 Okay.
何。
日本語。
4000。
4000 Whoops. 4000
400。
400
日本語。何人。3年。
生。
何人何人
日本語。
日本語。
何人。
何
何人。
人。
900。 2人。
人。
日本語。2年。
生。
日本語
日本語。
日本語
1年生。何人。8000。日本語。2人。
Okay.
何人
8000。
8000
12。
12
何人。日本語。
日本語。
2年生。
2年生。え Ooh. Saucy.
日本語
日本語。
金曜。
日。日本語。
金曜日。土曜日。日曜日。日本語。
Wow.
2日間。
2日間。Oh, man. Oof. Alright, you got me. 2日間。
金
金曜日。
曜日
You got me. Duolingo.
日本語。
日本語。Or
に本語
金曜日。
金曜日。What are we looking at? よ。
日本語。何日間。金曜日。何曜日。4日間。
Oh, there's more.
日本語
日本語。
31
日。日本語。All of them.
31
31
日。
日。
3日間。日
日
本語。。7日。
7日。Man.
2日間
Ooh, these are getting saucy.
31日
Okay.
日本語
Oh, that was kind of crooked.
に本語
Okay.
日本語何曜日31日月曜日日曜日
There's more. Oh yeah, there's so many he's. Oh my gosh, Nihongo again. All right, which day is it now? Oh, okay. Yoka.
4日
日本語
Okay.
日本
How many are we gonna do?
4日
Okay. Nihongo.
日本語日本語
4日4
Okay.
日本語1年生毎日語り4日
4日
Okay.
4日
Okay.
3時半昼ごはん
Okay.
日本語
Mm-hmm.
4日
Mm-hmm.
9分
日本語
Okay.
日本語
1年生何年生明日日本語4日
4日4日
4日1分日本語50分200
100 Okay. Oh boy. We finished our friends quest.
日本語今
日本語
日本語今日7日日曜日3日間
今
日本語
日本語 What a terrible timing for that quest complete.
日本
日本語
語
今日
Okay. You know what? We can do something slightly different. We'll do that.
日本語
日本語
土曜日
Nah, that's just a terrible time. I don't. Nah.
火曜日今日水曜日
Yeah, it's such a terrible time.
Get more
for
with-
a completion.
日本語
本
Yeah.
日本語月曜日魚本3日間
日本語
That wasn't long enough.
日本よ
Oops.
よ語
本
西何曜日本日曜日日本語
Alright. Well, that's pretty good. That's a wrap for our Japanese. Alright. Yeah. What is the lasting message? I suppose, a concluding message? We talked about visibility. You know, It's always worth a forward investment in understanding how to engage in interpersonal skills, right? You learn a lot of language, right? But language learning, language proficiency doesn't big but, yes, with 3 T's. So here's the big but. Learning languages, really wonderful. You can execute fluency, what have you. You can be a polyglot, right? Hyper polyglot. With all that said, the big but here is with 3 T's is that being incredibly skilled and semantically specialized, right? Like, that doesn't necessarily mean you have the utmost practice in interpersonal skills. And ironically, in my opinion, one of the under-practiced skills often comes in the form of communication. One can speak all sorts of jargon, technicalities, nuances, and information, but without the semblance of interpersonal skills, one may almost, it actually happened yesterday, appear arrogantly confident, and then when one speaks to another person who would like to be a little candid about it, they may become a little bit humbled, if not defensive. Like, for example, saying that oneself that everyone seems to adore oneself, and yet you express that you cannot hold a interpersonal relationship with someone. That is oxymoronic, right? If one is incredibly charismatic and well-spoken and likely to be incredibly confident and well-mannered, like well-spoken and ambitious and successful, it's rather ironic that one would say that it is not their problem that they are unable to procure and sustain an interpersonal relationship. If one is incredibly successful, charismatic, and confident, and also success at communication, especially in language learning in oneself, perhaps the common denominator of that problem is not the other people around you, but yourself, right? Sometimes with great skill also comes with great blindness. And in that blindness, I hope that one can find humility in order to work on interpersonal skills. Being incredibly skillful is one thing. It's incredibly talented, you can get adoration and affirmation. I don't think necessarily it substitutes for interpersonal skill practice, right? You can certainly be successful and be lonely if you want it. Like, there are people out there who prefer to be alone, stand on the pedestal, sit on a singular throne. That's fair enough. However, going around and saying it's people, you have problems with people around you, yet you have all the skills to communicate and are confident that you are important and successful, that is something more of a paradox, right? If A is true, then B is unlikely to be true. So the issue here is, are you really that confident and well practiced in personal skills? And I have seen this, I've encountered and have the privilege to encounter a lot of talented people over these couple days, like these couple months, right? However, it seems like communication skills don't necessarily go hand in hand. It's actually really paradoxically ironic that people who want to learn culture through learning language, especially about the Japanese language, seem to somehow have not internalized or be interested in the Japanese culture of, the face culture. So unsolicited advice is a really big taboo a lot of times in public space around face culture. But, I'm not Japanese, so I can definitely understand and empathize with individuals who are incredibly passionate yet frustrated when they look on someone who didn't ask for help, but they feel like it is their calling upon them to interfere. But hey, if you're learning Japanese, one of the biggest things about face culture is often understanding how to be conservatively helpful without intrusively intervening on telling them their aspect of life is questionable, right? It encounters quite a lot. Yesterday I had an encounter with someone as well who may have suggested that they are very well kept, very well spoken, and incredibly successful, but yet possibly still looking to establish an interpersonal skills. And I wanted to be as respectful as I could, but I don't know if I've communicated clearly with tact that whatever the information that person shared with me is very indicative of someone who lacks interpersonal skills. So yes, this person was probably incredibly talented, speak multiple languages. At the same time, the way they described their interpersonal problems was outwardly, as in it was not their problem, it was the people around them. And at the same time, they cited that everyone around them were a specific type of person. That is not a coincidence. That is not that is a statement where it likely characterizes the person. Because if you walk outside and you say hello to a bunch of random people, the chances are they won't all behave the same way. And somehow this person alleges that everyone around them behave the same way. That is called collective interpersonal ignorance. That's my little fancy thing where someone probably has the capacity and awareness to evaluate people, but do exclude themselves from the evaluation, right? And that can happen. So, long story short, work on your skills, do the things that get you your career and all that, your obligations. But I think there's often room to explore your interpersonal skills, like expressing what your visions are, expressing what your goals are without being imposing, right? Communicating with someone, helping people without stripping them down, or like imposing your opinion instead of sharing your opinion, right? There's a lot of elegance and whatnot, and I think that's reflective of the Japanese culture too. It's incredibly, in public spaces, at least from my extension from Chinese culture, it is most definitely 80% of the time considered rude when you go up to someone and provide unsolicited advice as though you know better, especially if there's an age gap. And also, if that was helpful and whatnot, it is so still disrespectful when you start by criticizing what they're doing first, right? So if we're all here to learn Japanese and learning culture through the language, I believe that would probably be a lesson in there that is not the same as the internet culture. While the internet culture might provide opportunities for unsolicited advice, whether they like it or not, I think I love the Japanese culture and know about the Japanese culture enough to understand that. Tell me how you like to learn the Japanese language by telling me that you don't care about their culture. That's kind of that type of thing, right? It's one of those tell me that you don't care about the Japanese culture without telling me you don't care about Japanese culture. And that's a deep cut, and it's happened a lot of times. So let's be a little bit more cognizant about our interpersonal skills, which does involve being culturally aware and culturally sensitive, right? All right, there you have it. I'm gonna get up, stretch around. Thanks for listening. If you're gonna watch this later, thanks for watching. Right? To all the Japanese language learners out there, mata ne, mata shita. Right? Ja ne. And I'll be back with Chinese in a bit. Arigato.